Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Welcome, everybody. Okay, everybody. Peace. All righty, everybody in the house. This is the Information Man. I was about to say Speaks Podcast. Y'all know I got that second channel. I go raw over there, but this is the Information Man show. I have an incredible guest, Ileane Smith, who I'm going to be bringing on in just a moment. I'm letting everybody know out here in YouTube, everybody that knows me within these YouTube streets, that follows my show casually, regularly. And I know some people, you come over and listen to some of the things that I talk about, especially when it's real polarizing subject matters. Today won't be a polarizing subject matter. Today is basically, we're going to talk about how you can level up on the social media, how you can use social media to your best advantage. We know that I was watching on Netflix something called Social Dilemma, because it was talking about how social media can also manipulate us. And I'm going to be doing a show on that. But I was talking to Ileane when she's in the backstage right now, and I was saying that there's ways that you can take this monster called social media and you can turn it around and make it positive. You can turn it around and actually change and transform people's lives. You can also be a positive influence on people, and you can use these mediums to improve what you're doing yourself, whether you're YouTubing or if you're a Facebook personality or you're a person that tends to enjoy using Twitter or maybe Twitch. She's big on Twitch, and she uses that platform. And I remember hearing Ileane in one of her videos say that there's a lot of things that we're using on YouTube that was sort of either stolen or borrowed from Twitch. And I know Twitch is more of a gaming platform, but you want to level up on as many platforms as you can when you are doing content, whether it's podcasting, blogging, video podcasting, any and everything that you can use, such as what we're using right now, which is StreamYards. So I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to have her introduce herself to you all out there listening. Definitely, I want everybody who comes over to this channel today in the chat room, those that are listening that are not in the chat room, and those that will listen to this video after the fact, I want you to go down and scroll down in the description of this video, because I have basically almost everything that I can imagine that Ileane Smith, it's a wonderful lady, I have almost everything that she's on in the description of this video. She's even got a page on Amazon. And I got to ask her, how did she get that set up? I want to set that up myself too. But she's got her hands in a lot of different areas. She also, if I'm not mistaken, does coaching when it comes to helping you get your podcast off the ground. She also, and I had a chance talking to her in the backstage, she has a daughter who is heavy duty in the real estate game. And I definitely want to get her on this platform to promote her channel and what she's doing for people to support her and what she's doing out there in the Philadelphia area, wherever you are in the world. So I will be talking to Miss Ileane about her daughter sometime after this. But I'm going to bring her on. All to do of what I've been saying, we're going to get into this discussion. Also, we're going to talk about the changes in YouTube in terms of the new policy that's hitting into this year, or has already hit this year into the years going forward as it relates to monetization, and what they're doing with the AdSense and the advertisements on your videos, especially when you don't even have a channel that's met the requirement, okay, for the program. So we're going to get into that. I see we got Jay Dunn. We got Underrated Darkness in the house. Back to the basics. Rashida, hey, what's going on? Let me know. We got Donna Just Being Real. Let me know, first of all, if my sound is sounding good. You know how I am about sound, everybody. I'm very, paranoid about it. If I'm sounding fine, let's get the algorithms of YouTube going. If I'm sounding fine, put a 1 in the chat room or a yes to let me know if my sound is coming out correct before I bring her on. Did everything sound fine? Put a yes. Okay. Was the music fine? Put a yes for that. Let's get these algorithms going in the YouTube. So everybody, do me the biggest favor today. Share this video in all of your social media, because I want as many people within this part of YouTube to give this sister great respect. And I want you guys to support what she's doing, because you can learn a lot from her. I have certainly learned a lot. So with that said, I'm going to shut my mouth and bring her in, because I'm very excited about this. And so I'm going to give her a big roaring clap. And I want you all to give her a clap as well. Put some clap signs in there if you can. All righty. All right, Ileane, how are you doing?
Hello, beautiful people. How's everyone doing out there in the chat? I see my girl India showed up as well, and all the folks that I have not met before. I'm so glad to be introduced to you. The Information Man has been coming on my channel and leaving great comments, positive feedback for so long, and finally, we're here together. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. Once again, another clap for you. Definitely. I really appreciate you being here and giving of your time. But I want to get into it. Wow, I'm glad that you're here again. I really want to get into it because I've been watching you from afar. And I've seen some of the big YouTubers that you've ran with, that you've been on their channels, talking to them about this whole thing called social media. How do you use different platforms, Ecamm, StreamYards, just a little bit of everything. Oh, okay.
Shout out to the StreamYard.
So you've been asked this question probably a million times, and I'm going to have to ask it. Where did you come from? What brought you to social media? What caused you to say, you know what? I want to get into this. I want to get into podcasting. I want to do tutorials. And what happened? How did it all happen? Come on, tell us.
You know what? I am glad you asked, because actually it's one of my favorite stories to tell. When you were introducing me, you mentioned my daughter. Mm-hmm. Well, I live in Philadelphia, and I do have an adult daughter. Her name is Nicole Purvey from Better Than Success.
Okay.
Now, when Nicole got out of college, she she kind of disappointed me because she decided to move from Philly and go and live in California, which is where her dad was, or he is. He still is there. And I was like, but you got to, all those mothers out there, or even the fathers, you got to let them fly. You give them their wings. You help to build them wings, right? You got to let them fly. So anyway, she was out there and she was working at that time. She was a bond trader. And she sent me an email one day and said, Mom, I started a blog. And I was like, ooh, you started a blog. Now, back in those days, I knew about the internet. The only thing I ever used to do was go on Internet Movie Database and search for stuff. And remember Ask Jeeves back in the day, right? And search for things. So I knew how to use the internet. I heard of blogs, but I really didn't know how they worked. So my baby got a blog though, right? So I got to go and follow her blog. So I go and I'm filling out this thing because I'm following her blog, right? I don't know nothing about RSS feeds either. And I'm filling, and the next thing I know, when I got to the end, they said, oh, what would you like to name your blog? So I'm like, oh, you mean I start my own blog? Hello. Because I got a lot to say.
All right.
So I actually started blogging by accident. Literally, because I didn't know what I was doing. I just thought I had to fill out all this information to follow someone's blog. So because of that, I also want to give a shout out to Donna, just being real. Hey, girl. Because of that, and I started learning about social media. This is in the early days of social media, guys. All right. So I thought I will write about everything that I learned. For one thing, that's going to help me because then I won't forget stuff. And also, it's just going to give me the practice of writing. So I started, here was my tagline. Now, this is what you don't do, okay, when you start a blog. But this was my tagline. Everything about life, love, music, and anything that comes to mind. Mm-hmm. That was my tagline. Don't do that, y'all, okay?
Don't do that.
But when I would write about life or love or music, people didn't care about that. When I did a tutorial, everybody loved the tutorials. They just gobbled them up. And I actually loved doing the tutorials myself. And so that's how I found my sweet spot. I decided that, you know what? The tutorials are my thing. There's so much technology out here. I will never, ever run out of something to learn, something to teach, something to share. And so that's what I'm really all about. Learning, sharing, teaching what I've learned. And hopefully that will help, as you guys, I'll call you guys the next generation, be able to put your message out there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that's the story. I love it because my daughter's like the hero of that story.
Okay. Wow. Well, let me ask you. Then you know what? I have a daughter. I have a daughter as well. So I know I know what it's like to be a parent and what the responsibilities of of those realities are, and you want the best for your kids, and you gain inspiration by seeing them grow up and seeing them doing the things that they're doing. And that's why I was asking you before we went on live. I was looking at your daughter's site, and she's doing just some fantastic things. So I just want to let people know, her daughter is doing fantastic things in her business. But when it comes to social media, and I've looked at some of your tweets. You tweet quite a bit on Twitter. And how do you find all these? How do you go about gathering the information that you gather when you put on presentations? Because I notice when you go live or when you put on your presentations, you do a fantastic job. Your connection to the camera, to the audience. When I listen to some of your stuff, I really feel that I can feel the passion in what you're talking about and how you explain it. I mean, how do you go through that process? Because I've learned some things that you taught me that has helped me in my journey on YouTube, because these were tools that I didn't even know about. Like, for example, if you notice on my Twitter page, and it's due to you, Ileane, I did it. Well, what you did is you showed me, what is the name? What is it? Where you can link all your social medias into one link, and you can put it on your Twitter, your Instagram. And so when people click into it, they can get to everything, your YouTube, anything that you're on.
You know, it's all different landing pages that we have out now where, you know, people like Linktree, they use that a lot on Instagram. But actually, one of the things I want to talk to everybody about.
Okay.
And so this is a good time. Hey, Patricia, this is a good time for me to bring this up, because I know sometimes people get like overwhelmed with all the different platforms. You know, you've got your Twitter, you got your Instagram, and you've got YouTube and all Facebook, all of that. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. So here's one thing that I want to sort of just plant the seed. If you're not doing this already, I want to make sure that you guys are getting your own website, your own domain.
Yes.
And start building your email list. Now, you might go, wow, I didn't think she was going to say that. And here's why. Because the platforms will, as we can talk about later on, they will shut you down. They will limit your access. But your email list is something you'll always have. And I am so glad that one of the tools that I've been using, I've loved this tool for a long time, and it's Aweber. They now have a free plan, free, no credit card or anything like that. And so you can build one of these landing pages. I'm bringing it back around now. I don't want y'all to think I went off on a tangent. You can build one of these landing pages inside of Aweber, build your list, and also have one of those that has, this is the link to my Twitter. This is a link to my YouTube channel. This is a link, you know, and you can also integrate that with your website as well. All that on the free plan. And so I'm not trying to do a commercial. All I'm trying to say to you guys is, you know, take social media one at a time. Like once you've got Twitter or Facebook, whichever one you start with, under your belt, then move on to the next one. Okay. Well, and then, but in the meantime, keep building that list.
Can I say something to you?
Sure.
And I know you said, well, I'm not trying to do a commercial here, but no, I need you to do a commercial, Ileane, because when I'm looking at, and I got this all on my computer here. When I'm looking at your site, IleaneSmith.com, top level live streaming tips, digital media tutorials, she's got pages, folks. And like I said before, I've got all of her stuff in the description of my video. I think it's important that you promote what you're doing, because I would like to see people who may not have all the savvy, or maybe they need some instruction. I would like to see them contact you and ask you for help. I want to see them follow what you're doing.
Okay.
So by all means, advertise.
Okay. So here, I'll give you guys a link that will show you just exactly what we're talking about right now. It's my website, IleaneSmith.com. And I'm going to spell that in case somebody's listening, they're not watching the screen. It's ILEANE Smith.com/links.
Well, look, Ileane, I'm going to put it in the chat room because I've got everything ready to go on deck. So here we go. And I even got a little, I got a message on the board that I can put right in there. So folks, I just put that in there. That's her actual website, IleaneSmith.com. Very simple.
Okay. You put up this link to go to my school.
Okay.
This is a different one. This is a different one.
Okay. I apologize.
That's all right. That one's good too. But this is a different one, because it's going to give you the link to go to the school, to go to my YouTube, to go to my Twitter. It's IleaneSmith.com/links. Links. Okay. Yeah. And, you know, and there are some sites, guys, that you'll start using them and you'll find out that you're not really getting that much out of it, or you just don't like it. Like, for example, I'll give you a popular example. A lot of folks like to use Reddit. I don't know if you're on Reddit, but a lot of people have. I never liked it. I don't care how popular it gets. I'm not going over to Reddit. I have an account there, and some of my YouTube friends, as you mentioned, some of the YouTube gurus has started like what they call subreddits over there. For example, D. Nemon had one over there, or and maybe it was Nick. And then also Roberto Blake had one over there. And I went over there and I said, okay, maybe I'm old school. I'll just try it one more time. And I don't even think they use it that much anymore. Thanks for putting up some of my video thumbnails.
I've got some. I was basically going to use those thumbnails to lead us into different conversations. But check this out. I actually have. There's a little bit of feedback, but on my part, I can hear it on my part. I have an account over there.
Already,
but
yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like you can't put anything up.
Right. Yes, they don't want you to promote. Yeah.
So what's the point? And I heard that, there's people who get a lot of traffic from Reddit.
I hear that too.
But it's not user friendly.
Right. Exactly. So, but other folks like now, Twitter is one of my favorites. Okay. And I use it every day. Like you said, I tweet a lot. As a matter of fact, Clinton, you're not even following me on all my Twitter accounts because I have one for myself. I've got one for my blog, which was Basic Blog Tips. I've got one for my podcast, which is Anchor Show. I've got one for live streaming, which is Live Video Champs. I mean, I got a ton of Twitter accounts. And I also do Twitter at work because I have a day job. And I also do Twitter for my daughter.
Yeah, right here. So right here.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Right.
That's my second one.
Let me stop you for just a moment. Everybody in the chat room, is my sound coming out okay? Because I'm getting feedback. Yeah, I'm getting feedback into my earpiece.
Yeah, I'm not getting, everything sounds fine for me. So,
okay. So I want to make sure that people in the chat room can tell me whether my sound sounds good. Yeah, they're hearing feedback. So let's see if we can fix this.
Oh, one person said it's clear. Someone else said echoes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let me go into my audio and make sure I'm connected with the right. All right. Oh, I know what's going on. Boom.
Okay, good.
Testing.
All right.
Okay. The echo cancellation was not on.
Okay.
How did that happen?
Yeah, because we were just looking at it before we went live. All right,
I'm still getting feedback.
Interesting. Yeah, and it could be just a browser.
Testing. Oh, that's better. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, this is the learning. Well, maybe it's not. This is the learning. This is a learning thing for us all. Let's see. On StreamYards, everybody, they have this thing called echo cancellation. I'm still hearing feedback. Then there's stereo audio, and then audio automatic adjustment mic value. Okay.
Someone said it's better now. Oh, and then India said, nope, still echoing on here. Wow.
All right. How do I sound now?
Sorry about that, guys. We'll get through it.
How do I sound now?
It's come back again. So
is the sound,
it keeps going in and out is what India is saying. India is an audio pro, so I know.
Yeah. Let me see. Maybe I should come out and come back in and then I'll let you talk to the audience. I'm going to I'm going to leave and come back in.
Okay, because I don't think they're hearing on my side.
Okay.
All right. I'll be here. I'll hold down the fort.
All right.
Okay, everybody. Ileane Smith is taking over the Information Man show. No. Okay. So I see a lot of comments, great comments that are coming in. Someone asked if there was if it was harder to like, grow a following on a platform now. And I got to be honest, it is a bit harder. And this is one reason why a lot of folks are flocking over to TikTok, because right now TikTok, from what I understand, I'm not over there myself, but from what I understand, it's really easy to get the numbers up fast. But what I want you to think about, and what I want you to also try to focus on, is the quality over the quantity, the quality over the quantity, and be engaging like you guys are doing here in the chat. You're doing such an amazing job of conversing even with one another, and just continue to do that on all the social platforms that you're on. A lot of times, like we were just talking about Reddit really quickly. I don't know why I keep talking about them, but they don't want people to be self-promotional. So a lot of times people will go on certain platforms and they don't know the etiquette of the platform. So for example, on Twitter, it's perfectly fine to post your link. Every day I post one of my links. That's not all I post. I mix it in with other people's content or just starting conversations with folks. So think about quality over quantity. And then I think that'll make you feel better. Oh, there's a super chat. Hey,
Yeah,
India, thank you.
India, let me do something for you. My echo effect doesn't sound to be as bad now since I came in. She says, thanks for sharing your knowledge, Ms. Ileane. Hey, thank you for coming over, and thank you for the super chat. I got something for that.
Thank you for the super chat.
But what I really have for that, and I'm going to play it so everybody get ready. You know how I do it over here. Thank you for that super chat.
Yes, I heard that. It sounds cute. Thanks, India.
All right.
That's so cute.
All right. Thank you, India, for the super chat. I hope you become a new subscriber to the channel. Thank you again for coming over and supporting the program. Looks like my mic is sounding a little bit better. I'm not hearing any echo. So I think I just had to come in and come back out. Since we're talking about social media, do you notice that I love StreamYards? It's great for interviewing people like what I'm doing with you here. But what I do notice that StreamYards, and I hope they can somehow fix it, it still has, I believe, some audio issues. And I don't know because it's browser based or not, but do you notice that yourself? And it's a great platform, though.
I would definitely blame that on the browser. I want to blame it on StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah, blame that on the browser. And yeah, by the way,
there's no shade to the guys who created this, and I watch them every Sunday. Yeah. They're doing a fantastic job with the platform, with the improvements, you know.
They are. And I do want to also mention, I can't not give a shout out to my friends at Ecamm Live, because I also use that again.
Oh, yeah. Let me show everybody your Ecamm Live. Yeah, folks, she's if you want to use a good software, then that's a streaming software, right?
But it's for Mac only. So okay. There you go. That's one of many. I have a whole playlist full of tutorials for Ecamm Live.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. All right. Ecamm Live, everybody.
Yes.
Okay. Now, actually, I didn't know about Ecamm Live until
you don't have a Mac, do you?
No, but this is the thing.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about it until I saw your videos.
Yeah.
I think you don't realize how influential you are, because I was like, Ecamm Live. Now, I don't have a Mac. And I was hoping maybe I could use that software, and I hope maybe one day they'll put it on PC. But even though I can't use it because I don't have a PC, I don't have a Mac, I still think I learned something from you about the Ecamm Live and how it's useful. So
and you know why it's good for everybody, that's even all the folks that are in the chat, because just like I'm here on your show today, and we're using StreamYard, it could be that someone invites you to be a guest on their show and they're using Ecamm Live. And you won't be sitting
Oh.
there like, what's Ecamm Live? I don't know how to do that. But it's very similar. Bringing guests on with Ecamm Live is very similar to StreamYard. It's just a little differences there, but just so you guys know, they just released this new update where all you have to do is send your guest a link and then they can come on your stream. So it's just that you have a little bit more control with Ecamm Live because it's a platform that has many more features than StreamYard. StreamYard is great. I love StreamYard. Like I said, I've got my cup here. You know, honestly, when Gage from StreamYard contacted me about, reviewing StreamYard, it was 2 years ago. And since then, it's just been amazing to just watch how StreamYard has, grown. Sometimes even when I look on TV shows, I'm like, they're using StreamYard for interviews. It could be a news show. I saw one the other day and I was like, they're using StreamYard. So it's easy. And the reason why I wanted to really immerse myself in it, because I know everybody doesn't have a Mac, but just to let y'all know, the new Macs that are coming out are going to be just as affordable as the PCs. So,
oh, is that right? Wait a minute now. That's that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now. Now,
Yep.
what you just done? Now, let's say that again. Wait a minute, everybody. That's breaking news.
Yep. Well, they announced it at the last, I think it was 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday. They did and they showed that some of the new, I think it's the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air, they're like $100 cheaper than the previous version that came out a few years ago. So, and they're faster and all that stuff. So I can't wait to get my new one. But I'm happy with I have an iMac, the big one with the big screen. But right now, just a FYI, right now I'm on my PC.
Okay, so basically, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Ileane just gave you what I would call breaking news. Breaking news.
Yep.
And you heard it right here on the Information Man Show. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Now, someone in the chat room had brought up this. I know we're talking about a lot of different things. It's a gumbo of things they were talking about right now. But someone talked about Social Blade. Are you familiar with Social Blade? I'm pretty sure you are. And it shows how much people make and all this. It puts everybody in your business.
Yeah, it's all estimates, people. So don't. First of all, most folks, I'll say some of the folks in my circle are live streamers. All right. So when you're looking at Social Blade, they're telling you about their AdSense income. They don't know how many super chats you're getting. They don't know how much money you're selling in merchandise. Okay. Or if you've got memberships on your channel. And now I'm still only talking about YouTube, right? I'm not even talking about things if you've got your own products and all this other stuff. I'm just talking about Social Blade is just guesstimating how much you would be making from AdSense alone.
Yes.
But you could, as you've done before, I've seen you make $20, $30, $40, $50 from a stream from super chats.
Right.
They don't have, they got no information on that. We can't even predict that ourselves.
Right. So it's a little janky in that aspect, but it does allow people to pocket watch on what people are doing. I'm just going to have to say this. Okay.
And I tell my daughter, I always remind my daughter about this too. Don't count other people's money. And I'm saying this to y'all as an OG. It don't have nothing to do with YouTube, social media, nothing. I'm talking about life. Don't try to count other people's money. Y'all see all these stars that were so very popular, and then next thing you know, they're working at a car wash. Okay. So don't count other people's money, because you don't know what their bills are. You don't know who they're supporting. You just don't know. You don't. So, and I know it's enticing. You get like, wow, this person's making how much on YouTube? I can do it too. And that's, because every now and then there'll be a YouTuber will be going into their YouTube studio and you see how much money they're making on AdSense. And you're like, darn, how come I'm not making that much money? But you don't know how many VAs they got or how many Fiverr people they're hiring or whatever, right? So don't count other people's money.
Yeah, I like to just say, piggybacking on what you're saying, I think it's all in the way how you handle it. Like, for example, for me, I don't ask people for money, but if people donate money to what I'm doing, I appreciate it. I acknowledge them. And everything that people give me, I put back into what I'm doing. So once again, I'm having an echo problem again. Golly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And
let me just shout out a few people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hate this echo I'm getting. Okay, we've got Kujin 87, Marquise Hill, Cindy, Be the Difference, Clothing, Panda's Hair, Back to the Basic, Sir Drop TV, peace to you. Matter of fact, I need to mod you up. Okay, everybody, can you tell me if you're hearing a bad echo sound in the chat room? Because
what's that mic? What's that mic that you use?
Oh, this is a Rodecaster. So it's a Rodecaster Pro mic.
All right.
This is a studio mic, radio style studio mic, but I still think do you
have it plugged into a mixer or USB?
No. This is a mixer. I'm not using a USB, but when I use the other software that I use, I don't have this problem. I think the problem is, once again, StreamYards is just not built right now for the capability of handling these type of microphones. That's my impression right now, that there's something in the interface that it can't handle, because that's been my biggest complaint over everything on this platform is basically the sound. Everything else is fantastic. So
some people are saying the sound is good now.
Oh, okay.
One person said and India said echo came back. And then somebody said something about the earphones. So I'm not going to put my earphones in because we already know that it's on your end, because when you left, nobody had a problem.
I do know that they do recommend you wear a headset or some kind of headset. No, I think that came from the guys who made this platform. I just got a super chat from Miss USA. I know this lady is wonderful. She has a wonderful channel, and let me give her some acknowledgement here. She's come in. Oh, US live streaming TV gadgets and things. How are you doing? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the super chat.
You know what we got to do for you for the moment is we got to show the respect where respect is due. Thank you. All right.
Tell the truth.
Thank you for the super chat. She has a great channel. Check her out, folks. Good, very good channel. She says, Ileane Smith, you have been my mentor. See, you got influence on folks. You have been my mentor, and I am so happy to see you here in Information Man. See, let me put this on the screen too. See, you got a lot of people that have been checking you out for a while, behind the scenes, in the scenes, that really enjoy. Oh, she gave me another super chat. Thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
I appreciate that. I mean, I thank you, US live streaming TV. I got to get back over to your channel because you have a fun channel. But She said basically that you have been her mentor. So you have a lot more influence than you think.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. And this makes me so happy because like I told you earlier, this is one of the things that I want. I want to be able to, as I learn, because there's a lot more things I need to learn. But as I learn, I want to teach that, and I want to put it in a way that is accessible, that it's simple, break it down so that folks can easily grasp it, because a lot of times folks may speak a lot of geek speak, or you might feel like it's over your head and you can't really wrap your brain around it. But my goal is to just break things down, take it step by step, make it easier for you guys so that you can master the technology, so that the only thing that you need to do is get your message out there.
Right. Can you let's talk about this issue. And we talked about behind the scenes. You know that you are up on all the changes with YouTube, monetization. Right now, they're talking about that starting right now, if I'm not mistaken, that even if you are not a part of the monetization program where you're actually making AdSense money from YouTube because your channel is monetized and you have over 1,000 subs and you have over 4,000, or you have 4,000 watch hours. Everyone's busting their butt to get these watch hours. They can still tag videos on your channel or advertisement that you're not going to get paid from. So some of you out there that have been working hard to try to get your watch hours, and you're saying, oh, I got my watch hours because look, I've got commercials on my screen. Slow down. You may not be monetized because YouTube has figured out another way to get the bag from us by still getting revenue from your channel, even if you're not a part of their program yet because you haven't met the requirements. Ileane Smith, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful you are. What is your thoughts about this? These are the changes and realities of YouTube. And let me say peace to Tiffany Jackson and Vaughn 11. Raw B Privilege is in the house. I love that sister there. She's a great channel, everybody. We got Natural in the house. Be the Difference Clothing. That's someone I definitely have to connect you with, is Be the Difference Clothing. She's very, very positive. But what are your thoughts about what I just mentioned?
Oh, before you do that, did you see that Alan Christian?
Oh, wait a minute. Alan Christian. Oh, Alan Christian gave me a super chat. I thank you.
Thank you for the super chat.
I'm going to be jamming his music all day long. Oh, here we go. One more time.
Yes. Oh, you know what? So some people said they couldn't hear the music.
Oh, they are.
I gotta let you know that. It's a nice video, but some people said they can't hear the music. Yep. I know I can't hear it. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but I can hear when it says, thank you for the super chat. I can hear that. Okay. So,
all right. Let me pull out of that now. All right, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Can everybody hear that music that time? Just put a 1 in the chat room if you did. Now, Ileane Smith, the wonderful, wonderful. What are your thoughts?
Okay. So first, I just want you guys just to think about all these different platforms that we use. Okay. Let's think about Facebook. You put images, text, and maybe some of you guys are doing videos. You may even live stream on Facebook. Facebook advertises. Y'all know Facebook is a huge advertiser. They've even got in trouble for some of the things that they do around their advertising. Does anybody complain? And I know most of you guys aren't getting paid from Facebook. Some of you might be if you're in the different programs that they have. But let's just say 99% of folks are not getting a dime from Facebook. And they've been advertising. Sometimes you can scroll through and see so many ads. You're like, oh, gosh. And they do the same thing on Instagram, right?
Right. Right.
Okay.
You're
And
telling the truth.
so
You're telling the truth.
I
Tell the
don't know.
truth.
I don't know why anybody would complain about that on YouTube.
Well,
Because nobody is YouTube. You got to understand, it's folks probably think that it's just something that will hurt the smaller channels. Because I hate saying small YouTubers, because y'all not small. I'm not, unless you're really, really little. Most folks are big. I know I'm bigger than most of the YouTube gurus out there. I've seen them in person. Trust me, I'm way bigger than they are. So, but your channel may have less subscribers. Okay. You're not the person that YouTube can make a lot of money off of, right? So they're not just like trying to put all of us, I should say, together and try to make a few extra dollars. This is for these big channels that are not using YouTube monetization. It could even be a brand channel. Let's just say, for example, I know a lot of you guys know about TubeBuddy. Can't leave this program today without giving a shout out to my friends at TubeBuddy, right? TubeBuddy has over 400,000 subscribers. Always has a big crowd over there, especially when they do live streams. Their channel is not monetized. Okay,
wow.
so YouTube wants to be able to put ads on those big channels. Apple has an amazing YouTube channel now. They even started putting out their own tutorials. If anybody has iPhones or whatever, make sure you head over to the Apple channel, because they weren't doing this for years. Now, in the last year, they started actually giving tutorials showing you how to use your phone, showing you little tips and tricks about Apple products. They get hundreds of thousands of views, okay? But their channel isn't monetized. So
Wow.
why should YouTube pay their bill of, hosting their videos for free? And it's a big corporation. In fact, it's one of their competitors in some arenas, right? So Amazon, same thing. So you guys got to think about that. I know a lot of people just want to bash YouTube every time they change something about monetization. But like the last time, there was this whole thing about COPA with the YouTube got sued. And so they had to stop having, you can't monetize your programming that's for children. Okay. And so guess what? We all lived through that. And guess what? Some of the most popular channels on YouTube are children's channels.
Okay. Well, let me just say
but
this.
YouTube can still make money. They can still put an ad on there.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from with those concepts. I totally get it. But I think for the person that's out there struggling, trying to get their channel off the ground, it can be a little discouraging when you do see ads and you've been told that, hey, you can make money off your channel. And while you're still trying to get to the point where you can be a part of the program, YouTube is still finding a way that they can make money off of you, based whether you're a small YouTuber, big YouTuber, well-known, what have you. And I do understand a lot of us on YouTube will say, this is my platform. No, the truth of the matter is you're using their platform for free, literally. But then they are taxing you, because you can say when they take 30% of your super chat, that could be a tax for them to say, okay, we're paying you kind of using our system, right? And I know people were very upset about them changing the requirements that if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't go live on your phone, right? And I understand from a technical point of view, because actually I live in Northern California, Ileane Smith. I could literally drive to the headquarters, no problem. And I understand that they're using a lot of bandwidth, which is costing them a lot of money. And you have to ask yourself, does YouTube want to spend money on people who are not putting what they would call, quote unquote, real content out? And they're going on it 1,000 times. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it. But
You know what? One thing I do want to correct you on.
correct me.
You can go live if you have less than 1,000 subscribers. You just need to use a third-party app. Like, for example, you can use StreamYard to go live on YouTube.
Right.
Okay. You can use an app that I did a tutorial about over on the Ecamm channel. I just did a tutorial about this app that's called Prism Live Studio, and it works on iPhone and Android. So if you have a third-party app, you can go live. And also, one more thing that I do want to clear up.
Okay.
The reason that they put in that restriction has nothing to do with, once again, small channels or small. It has to do with the thing that there were some things that were live streamed that were mass shootings.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That's why they want to make sure not only that you are who you are, but that you're somebody who really wants to put out content, not just open up a channel, go in there, and then go to a church or something and commit sabotage. Okay. I don't like to say certain words. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, but I'll just say, because I don't like saying, you know me, I like to talk about pleasant things. I don't like to talk about. So this is one of the reasons why they put that restriction on there. Okay.
Let me go ahead and do one thing. This is what I want to do, Irene. I'm going to acknowledge this brother who just sent me a super chat. And then what I'm going to do, I was telling you that I was listening to Liberto Blake yesterday. I took some notes from him. Got to give him credit because he did a great job on his channel about this. I love him too. He's a great brother. He's doing great things. And I'm going to paraphrase or at least use the notes that I took from him about what this whole situation is, about how they're changing us from going from revenue to a royalty when you are part of the monetization program. So we have my man up here right now, and you guys will be able to hear the music this time because I think I had something turned off by mistake on my mix board. We got American Negro, California love. Peace to you for coming through. So let me give you a little bit of love here. And let me go ahead.
Tell them run it up. I wake up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check. No drip, this tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, I'm down that check.
All right, folks. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you coming over.
Nice.
Very nice. I had the music thing turned off. And then we got my man, Reg, the bad guy, who's just come in the house. Reg, good to see you, brother. Reg, I know I've been absent from your channel for a very long time, but guess what, Reg? I'll be watching in the bushes. I'll be watching you in the background. You're doing great things over there on your channel, Reg, the bad guy. I'll come over there, maybe join you on a panel or check it out. But I watch. I just haven't been on your panels lately. I've been trying to keep it a more low profile these days. But Reg the bad guy has a great channel. He lets you know all the gossip and all the things that are happening within the YouTube streets here. Thank you for coming over. He says, what's up, people in the chat room? Now, let me read this off to you, Ileane Smith. Let me go into this right now because this is very important. Okay. Liberto, somebody was saying that sometimes when we have echo, maybe what I need to do is maybe mute you when I'm talking, because I think the feedback may work that way. But right now I'm not hearing anything, and I hope I sound fine in the chat room, everybody. So let me go over this right here. So Liberto Break says that the tax royalties, so instead of us getting what we call a revenue, because YouTube is cutting the check, we're getting a tax royalty, which will be counted as profit, like as if you had a business. Okay, if I'm correct. The tax withholdings, which means that they'll take the taxes out of your pay when you get the royalty from YouTube. As my man Blake was saying, the downfall to this is that you may not be bringing as much revenue back as you used to. because they're going to be taking maybe a little bit more out. Now, I'm going to ask Irene if I'm wrong or right about this, but that's what I gathered listening to him, that you're going to get paid, but you may see a decrease in amount of your revenue.
Yes, because everybody should know about different tax brackets and all that. And YouTube doesn't know your tax bracket. So they're going to take some taxes, but it may not be the accurate taxes based on your own income. So I think it's a good thing because it's one less thing for us to worry about. We don't have to worry about, okay, we would have to set that money aside. So let's say for somebody like myself, I don't have any small kids to deduct. I mean, I remember when I used to get earned income credit. Oh, I remember the days, but I was struggling in those days too. I needed that earned income credit. Whereas now I'm not. Okay. So I don't have anything I can take as a deduction. I can't even take my grandson. All right. So I'm going to get taxed, but this way, I don't have to worry about YouTube giving me all this money all year long, and I need to set some aside so I can pay my taxes at the end of the year. I don't have to worry about that. It's already taken out and already applied. So that's the advantage of it. And I think it's a good thing for somebody like me. I don't know what the thresholds are. Like, when do they start taking it out? I don't know. I have not actually followed up on that. I just look at it as being a good thing.
Now, the royalties, as Brother Blake spoke of, is that you'll now have what they call qualifying income. So now when you file your taxes, it's just like an entertainer. If you're a singer, a dancer, you will be able to qualify your income with the IRS and maybe get a tax write-off on this. Okay. Another thing that he was saying is that, when you go into business or when you have to prove your income, you can now use the royalties that you get from YouTube as proof of income. Now, he talked about that. One of the downfalls that he did bring up to not being monetized when they put the commercials on your channel is that you can't control the mid rows. You can't determine where you want these commercials to be, these advertisements. You can't control what type, to a certain degree, advertisements you may have on your channel. So if you're a person who doesn't want ads all over the place chopping into your video because you want the video to be, nice and straight through, that's the disadvantage that you will have being a person who is not part of the monetization program. Berto Blake, he talked about that on his channel that I watched, and I thought it was fascinating information.
It is. It's something for you to keep in mind. However, like I said, if you put that same videos, let's just say you say, I'm going to go somewhere else. Where are you going to go? Facebook is the only place you're going to have that kind of traffic, right? So you put that same video on Facebook. Guess what Facebook is going to do? Show ads on your videos. Right. So, there are platforms out there that you have to pay for your videos. Like Wistia is a great platform for folks who want to have like a landing page with a video on it. They want to make sure that they can collect email addresses like I was talking about earlier, and it's all built into the software, but you have to pay for Wistia. Right. So, it's a trade-off. And yeah, it comes as like a shocker to folks. And, they want to push back, but I really think that YouTube, and when it comes to video, I feel like YouTube is one of the greatest, most sophisticated platforms. And also they have the people. They are sending people to watch your videos.
That's true.
Where else are you going? You try to go as much as I love Twitter. Okay. Put your videos on Twitter and see how much traction you get.
Right. Let me say shout out to NQ's World. We got real Aaron Collins, Back to the Basics, Panda's Hair, Be the Difference Again, American Negro. There was a few people, Von 11, Tiffany Jackson, Natural, Ashby. There's a lot of great people in the chat room that have been listening. And let me bring up this too. And once again, I got this information from Brother Alberto Blake, and he said, and I'm going to repeat this, don't take my word for it or Ileane's word for it or anybody on YouTube. He said this, go consult a CPA. Go consult people that are professionals, and especially if you have a YouTube channel that's generating a lot of income. Because what he said that I thought was interesting is that by having this royalty system, it once again, it allows you proof of income, especially if you don't have, as he said, an LLC on your channel. And I know, and actually I'm in the process of trying to get an LLC myself. I need to incorporate my name on my show, the whole 9 yards. So if you don't have an LLC, you're not an actual LLC business, this still qualifies you because you have proof of income as getting a royalty, as if you're an actor, an athlete, or something of that nature. So it has pros and cons to it. And the con is that they take your money out, which is good because you don't have to deal with that later on. That's the pro, but the con of it is you may see a dip. Am I right about that? You may see a dip in your revenue.
Yeah, and I think that remains to be seen, but I would take Roberto's word for it when it comes to that, because he probably already has the LLC. Now, my daughter, I always talk about my daughter, Nicole, at Better Than Success. She has her LLC. And as a matter of fact, I just struggled to get her monetization on her channel. And I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with, she had the views and she had the watch time and all that stuff. But what happened, and I didn't even know this was a rule, so I wasn't able to help her until I dug into it. And the issue was that she had 2 different YouTube channels, but the one that we wanted to monetize was not connected to her AdSense account. So when we went to connect it, they were like, no, that's a different account. It's a different Google account. So it was kind of confusing. It took me about 3 or 4 tries before I finally got it straight. She had to shut down an old AdSense account that she had, start this new one, and it's under her LLC.
Okay.
But, she's had LLCs. As a matter of fact, she probably got about 5 or 6 LLCs because she's a serial entrepreneur. She and I even have an LLC together. So that is how her channel is set up, is as a business.
Can you do us the biggest favor, because someone did ask that question, I believe right here. What is an LLC?
It's a limited liability corporation. So this is great for, like, I'll give you an example of my daughter who has real estate. She has property. She's an investor. Okay. Mm-hmm. And let's just say somebody slips and falls on one of her properties, one of her tenants or something. They don't sue her and come after her income. They sue the LLC. So it limits your personal liability in different situations. I just use the negative situation of being sued, but it also helps you as long as you are using the LLC correctly. As a matter of fact, my daughter has a video on this on her channel about how people get mixed up. And even though they have an LLC, they can still get in trouble and come after their income if there's any kind of a situation, because they mingle the money. So you got an LLC, you taking an income for your business, and then all of a sudden, oh, I got to go get my hair did. I got to get my nails done. Oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Nope.
Tell the truth.
That's going to get you in a lot of trouble.
You're co-mingling the money. So what you do instead, and I wouldn't have known this if my daughter hadn't done the video, is you pay yourself from that LLC, the funds from the LLC, it's a business, so it can pay employees. Even though it's your LLC, you can still get paid from your business. So you pay yourself, and then you go and buy your shoes with your own personal bank account.
And the important question, because this is the Information Man show.
Information.
The most
is
important question
power.
is that method that you just explained is legal, right? You won't find yourself in a slammer.
Right. That's what people do. I mean, it happens all the time, Yep.
All right.
So, it, like I said, Roberto does an excellent job of going through all the points. And I've even seen videos that Roberto has where he actually reads out the terms of service. Now, if you're really into like making sure you understand, because we sign up for these websites, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. It could be another completely different website and have anything to do with what we're talking about, social media, right? And you agree to the terms, but you really don't know what you signed up for. You're just like, yeah, okay, I agree. I know I want to sign up for this thing, so I'm agreeing. But
go ahead.
Sometimes it's worth at least, because there's some legalese in there you're not going to understand, at least going through those. And I know we said we're going to talk about podcasting, but I want to remind folks, if they heard about it, there was a time when they came after Anchor. People were very upset because Anchor is one of the platforms I use. It's not the only one I use, but they were upset with Anchor's terms because people got confused because they thought that Anchor was saying that they own your content, but that wasn't their intent. And they kind of just did a sloppy job of making the first terms of service, and they wound up cleaning them up, changing them. They put out a big blog post about it. And so that's the kind of thing that you especially with Facebook, with their terms, you give them the right to use your image and all of that stuff. They can, you can show up in one of their advertisements.
Well, let me ask you this question, Ileane Smith. Let me ask you this question. I don't know how much of YouTube you sit back and watch and you kind of shake your head. And because we know that on YouTube, you have people who have professional channels. They do, professional content. It's non-threatening content, non-polarizing content. They get a lot of views from all different ethnic groups, races of people. And then there are some channels where you do have a lot of, you've got a lot of stuff going on, people cussing and carrying on and fighting and all that, and live streaming with panels and just going at each other. I have been saying this, and I know you probably have more of an inside ear on this. YouTube's about to come down on a lot of folks because YouTube's gotten more corporate with the money, and it's becoming more and more and more and more big and popular. When you sign those agreements that you're talking about, you can't come back and cry and why did they take my channel when you broke the contract? Like I'm noticing that on YouTube, they don't really want to hear you cussing. Check this out. I did a lot of videos about the virus. See, I learned a little bit about the algorithm with YouTube, but I called it by its name, and none of those videos got monetized. The last two videos I did was about the virus, and all I said was the virus. Even though I had it in the title, I say the virus, and guess what? Both videos monetized. So understanding that there are languages, there are buzzwords that will trick the algorithms that can impact your channel. And eventually, when you keep violating YouTube's rules and policies, especially when it comes to what we call doxing people, taking people's images on their and putting them on your channel, and then talking about them and putting out personal information, YouTube is going to get to a point where they're going to get rid of you at the IP level. IP level.
Right. Yep. And, I do, not that I'm trying to be like the biggest advocate in the world for YouTube, because YouTube got their stuff with them too. Okay. But yeah. I want y'all to know that a lot of times, remember, YouTube is about money. Okay. And a lot of times, or they're motivated by money.
Right.
they have gotten sued. So when they make some of these changes, they've gotten sued by government entities. And this is why they make policy changes. Like I was talking earlier about the child COPA. It's because they got sued. They literally had to pay money. Okay. So it wasn't like they don't care about people that have kids channels. It's that they're breaking laws. And it was all fine until some senator or whoever it was, maybe it was a new person who was in charge of the FTC or FCC. I don't know. I don't remember I'll memorize all this stuff because I got my own issues. YouTube got to take care of their own problems. But
That's right.
but just so y'all know, it's not like YouTube is just like, oh, let's see, how can we get them again? It's not like that. They have to protect their own interests, and the same advertisers that say that they don't want to place ads on videos that have certain kind of controversial topics or controversial, like you said, swear words or whatever. Those same advertisers will advertise on TV for the same swear up and down content. Okay.
Right.
So, a lot of times you do have to look at it from both sides and realize that YouTube is getting sued, and they go after YouTube because they're big and because, they got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this question, because I within YouTube, I know a lot of big content creators that I know not personally, but I've been on their panels. I've interviewed them. They know me within what we call Black YouTube. So there's some very well-known people that I kind of have a connection to. And one of the guys told me once, he said that when they first created YouTube was really a platform that was designed for you to upload content. It was a content uploading platform. It wasn't really meant in the beginning to be this, you just stream all day with panels and talk all day. It was really about, they want you to create content, right? Where are we now? Because some people say you build your channel by going live. And then some people say, well, you can build your channel by creating pre-produced content, which is really what YouTube wants you to do, is build these pre-produced content. And then people say it's very important to put a real description and not a bunch of googly goo in your description box, because YouTube favors that when you put a real description. So I said a whole bunch, but where are the myths and where are the truths when it comes to building your channel using those formulas? What do you think is best today?
Okay. Every situation is going to be different, but what I think, if we step back and look at the bigger picture. Now,
Yes.
I already mentioned about Facebook. I've already mentioned briefly about Amazon. Okay. And then Twitch, which most of you guys probably know that Twitch is owned by Amazon. And, under, just like Instagram is owned by Facebook. So as a content creator, I want y'all to think about just how blessed and how special you are as being a content creator. Because you know what? All these platforms are fighting over you. They're all fighting for your attention. They all want you to put your content. We're actually giving them our content. Okay. They all want you to put your content on their platform. So they try to sweeten the deal. So Twitch was always known as live streaming. And I bring up Twitch because a lot of people don't realize that Amazon, which is like Jeff Bezos, is the richest man in the world, right? Y'all know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Amazon owns Twitch. So, but Twitch is only for live streaming. Now, they've gone beyond the just for gaming. It's known for gaming. Most people just associate Twitch equals gaming, but it's gone beyond that. There's artists there. There's folks like me that talk about tech. There's all kinds of different shows over there, but it's all live streaming. So YouTube and Amazon and Facebook want to get their piece of that pie. Okay.
Right.
So they gotta have a place for all the live streamers to come to. Okay.
right.
Whether you are gaming, so YouTube had different iterations of how they were using their live streaming. It was YouTube gaming or whatever, but now it's all integrated. But YouTube does like live streams. But if you notice, when you go into your YouTube studio, it's all kept separate. It's even that way on the app. As a matter of fact, I think that's my next video that I'm going to show.
Okay.
Is how it's all separated on the app now. Your uploads are separate from your lives.
Okay.
So
let me give me hold up for one moment. Let me ask you because I don't want to take up all your time today because
I was going to say I got to get ready to go soon.
It's one of the best interviews I've had with someone, but before let's just ask this question, and I'll have to have you back for another time again. How much time? Because I don't want to take up your time. Because it's still the beginning of the day for me here in California. It's like 10:52 in the morning. But how much more time do you have? Because we're gonna have to bring you back for more.
I can go for another 10 minutes.
Okay, so what we're gonna do here with the time that we have, God, I'm gonna have to have you come back. Man, it's so much more that I want to pick your brain on. Let's get into the blog. I know you blog. You blog as well. Mm-hmm. Can you touch on your blogging and integrate that into podcasting as well?
Okay. All right. So like I told you guys at the beginning, I started blogging by mistake, but soon after I started with my tutorials, I found my little sweet spot. One of the things that I got introduced to, and I'm going to give her a shout out and tell you guys to all follow her, is Lisa Irby. Lisa Irby is someone whose videos I found on YouTube, and I looked up and said, oh my God, I want to be just like her. She's a sister she used to deal with websites, but now she deals with print on demand. Mm-hmm. So making t-shirts and all that kind of great stuff. So anyway, that's what made me decide, well, I'm going to start doing YouTube. So right after I started blogging, like within 2 or 3 months, I was on YouTube. So I've been on YouTube since 2009, y'all. That's why I can tell you about all these changes and shifts that go on with YouTube. All right. And then I was listening to another show, and they were saying, oh, you can start a podcast from your YouTube. Well, let me just say things are different now, but back then there was a free platform that we could use that would upload our videos. We could have a video podcast. Wow. Now it costs a lot more money to have your video podcast. That in fact, that company went out of business because they couldn't afford the bandwidth bill. Right. All right. But so that's how I transitioned into podcasting, because I just had my YouTube channel going right over to my podcast.
Well, let's remind everybody that StreamYards makes it possible for you to record a copy of your video, and you can record it'll allow you to upload the audio of your video. And
that's awesome. But in addition to that,
okay,
if you use Anchor,
okay,
you can just upload the video, and Anchor will convert the video to your audio for your podcast.
Okay.
So you don't even have to worry about that. But it's wonderful that StreamYard does that, because that was a highly requested feature. And I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of people because it's so much easier now to start a podcast. But you can, even if you have videos. So let's just say you've got older videos that, you have on your hard drive, or you've got them in Dropbox or whatever. and you can turn those into podcasts. You just upload it to Anchor, but depending upon how timely the information is, you record a little bit of an intro and you say, yes, I recorded this, some things that have changed or whatever. How maybe your content is evergreen. Maybe you're doing like a meditation or something like that. So you don't have to say anything. You just go ahead and put that up there. So it's really, for someone like me, I have to keep into consideration. I do a lot of screen sharing on my videos because I'm teaching people how to use technology. So it doesn't always translate that well over into a podcast, but you can just keep that in mind as you're going along, as you're doing your video. You just say, for those of you who are listening to this on the audio, I'm showing this, and that. And if you want to see it, head over to my YouTube channel. So that's how I transitioned it over into. So I did all of that back in 2009. I started with the video, but for me, I've always been very picky about audio. And I find that with my podcast, I would spend so much time editing and so forth. So I tend to defer to just going live. It's so much fun. Just like today, guys, I want to say a shout out to everybody who's in this chat. You guys are so awesome. I just love the energy that you're bringing. And, podcasting, you're kind of like, you're in a silo by yourself.
Yeah, you are in a silo by yourself.
Unless you do as Clinton just, information man just said, just go ahead and download your audio from StreamYard. Or like I said, if you've got video or if you're not using StreamYard, just upload it to Anchor.
Let me ask you this question with the time that you do have left. Once again, let me remind everybody in the chat room that all of the links that I have found from her social media, all the platforms, some of the platforms that she's on, I have all the links from her YouTube channel to her Twitter, to her Instagram, to her Facebook page. I want everybody in this chat room, everybody that's come through here, and please share this video. I want you to go over and go into all of her social media and follow her, particularly follow her on her YouTube channel, because you're going to learn you're going to learn a lot more from her than what you're learning today. I am going to have her come back because people in the chat room are saying that I have to have you come back. People are very thrilled with the information that you've been laying out. I want to say peace to everybody in the chat room that's come in. All of you that have taken the time to come in today for this, I appreciate you. Let me also say, and I should have said this in the beginning, because we're actually on live, if I'm not mistaken, on Periscope. And I want to say peace to everybody out there in Periscope who is listening to this now or will be listening to the repeat. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something out of the information. And if you want to get more of her links, definitely come over to the Facebook portion of this show. Go into the description of the video and you'll see all of the links to all of her different platforms. I got to ask you this. I was blown away. Now I see you've made your mark on Amazon and you've got a nice, cute little video there about power up your smart home. How did you get that all going?
There's a few videos. I show you how to use the Stream Deck. I show my podcasting gear, my live streaming setup. And I also show a vacuum cleaner but they don't sell that vacuum cleaner anymore. But anyway, so
there you go. Stream Deck.
Amazon. This is why I encourage you guys to try out different platforms, not just YouTube, but try your Twitter or your Instagram, because Amazon, once you become an affiliate, or sometimes they use the word associate as Amazon, and you can apply for their Amazon program to get your own shop. It's called the Influencers Program. I know you've been saying the influencer all day, right? But it's called the Amazon Influencer Program.
Oh, okay.
And when you do that, they will give you a shop. So in fact, if you go to amazon.com/shop/Ileane Smith, that's where you'll see that I've put collections together for my podcasting gear, my live streaming gear, my beauty products. I even have one now that I have a grandson. Shout out to my 3-month-old grandson, Joseph. So I even put baby products in there. So they offered all of us who have these pages. And if you go to that page, you'll see at the bottom, all of my live streams that I ever did over there are on that page. And they give you that custom link. Like I said, mine's is Amazon/shop/Ileane Smith. And then you can go live, but you do need an iPhone. You need now. You can go live with StreamYard on there, but you have to set it up through your phone. And only right now, they only have it on iPhone. Some people can use, you can use OBS. You don't have to use StreamYard, but you need an encoder, StreamYard works with the RTMP connection. And if that just went over your head, don't worry. It's just all the RTMP means. It's just like a password and a login. That's all. It is. I got videos about that too. I have a video to show you how to go live on Amazon Live.
Wow. Before you depart from us, unfortunately, let me ask you a little bit about podcasting. Where do you see the future of podcasting going? Because I'm listening to various, information articles. There's even a podcast magazine that I download to my phone that I read every month. And the whole thing is exploding. But you know what happens when something becomes popular? Now here comes regulations, because if you think about it, podcasting is almost like a wild, wild west where you can open up your mic and express yourself and have fun. I know there is still rules about copyright and all this sort of stuff, but I do hope that the podcasting does not become heavily regulated in the way that it does not become fun anymore for people. Where do you see the future going with that?
Yeah, I wish I did have a crystal ball on that one, because there is a chance that it could be regulations could possibly come to podcasting. Now, it might be years down the road, but just like they had the hearings in the Senate, but they had Facebook, they had YouTube, they had Twitter, and they had somebody else, Apple, I think. Eventually, whenever there's money involved, and as podcasting gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see Spotify, for example, investing all this money, because Spotify was not really a US based company, but they bought all of this influx of cash when they bought Anchor, and they bought Gimlet, and they bought Megaphone recently. So as the income and the advertising dollars swell on pod, that's when it comes to the legislators' attention. Like, oh, this podcasting thing, we thought it was just a hobby. And now that we see that there's lots and lots of money being made, we may need to regulate some things, Yeah. So for the most part, things are still wide open. And I definitely recommend anybody, especially if you're camera shy and you don't want to get on camera for whatever, or maybe you're just having a bad hair day.
Because
do a podcast.
Right. It's one of the things that I noticed is that with this virus that we have going on right now, that was one of the areas that they were doing some heavy censoring on the podcasting in some of the communities, where some people were getting in trouble for talking about this nasty thing you see on the screen there, everybody. And so I had to, because I've done a lot of material on this virus, and so I had to kind of watch, say, let me not get into certain talk or certain points on my own podcast that I have. So just wanted to ask you that, because that's a whole new vast world of, and what I've done, and what I've done with my podcast is that I have a second channel, and I've come to the conclusion that all the material on the YouTube version is going to be different than what I have on the traditional podcasting platforms. Most people will just put it on everything, but I figured, let me create something different on Facebook and then create a different experience for people in those platforms like the iHeartRadio, the Google, all that good stuff, the Apple podcast, so that people, when I put that on my YouTube channel, they'll get a different experience and not something that's just the same. And I think to me, that's a smart way to do it. It does require you to really crank out the content. And that's the thing I have to ask you. How do you keep from burning out? Because there was a time when I was thinking about shutting down doing YouTube. And there's times when I get kind of burned and I say to myself, maybe I should take a break.
Yeah, you honestly, you have to give yourself a break. And I know that a lot of people will teach and say, you should be consistent. You must show up every Tuesday at 3:00. I just picked a time, right? I've never done that. I've never been able to do that. I applaud everybody who does that and shows up consistently.
Right.
It's not that I'm not consistent. I just don't have a set time. I just go live. Most of the time, I don't even know I'm going live until 5 minutes before I go live. But you have to, and I'm not recommending that y'all do it that way. Okay. But what I'm saying to you is that when you do feel yourself being stressed out and that you're at that point where this is like overwhelming, it's okay to give yourself a break. And you could even do a quick live stream or do a quick story on your Instagram. And now we got fleets on Twitter, right? And tell people, hey guys, I'm just exhausted. There's not going to be a show today. There's not going to be a show next week.
Right.
I need to take some time off. And your folks that really love your content, they will be there, and there may be some drop off. I'm not going to promise you that everybody's going to stick around. There may be some drop off, but stop putting so much pressure on yourself.
Right. Don't put pressure. So sometimes you got to just take a step away from it and then refresh. But I went through that, but I'm definitely refreshed in my resolve to keep doing what I'm doing. You know who I'm also a member of their channel of? You know these folks. They're great over there. The live streaming pros.
Yeah. I'm a member of their channel as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what I like about them, what I've done, his setup, the way he's using the software and all of that. I've got that whole thing where I can just sit down here and I can just make content. It's all set up. I got, so, and I'm still working on other things. So when I watched his channel, it kind of inspired me to say, come on, now let's up your game a little bit. Let's use some of these other platform and softwares to really improve, because what I'm really was going for, which is why I was going to bring you on the vMix. The vMix allows me to really give almost like a television broadcast, that kind of level that it takes you up to. And I've been playing around with that thing, and I just love the sort of stuff that I can do with it.
Yeah, I want to, really quickly, I do want to give them a shout out because I learned a lot from them. And so David Foster,
that's
is
right,
the fellow, and he has his whole setup on PC. And he's got a gaming setup, and everything is all maxed out on a PC.
Right.
Laria Petrucci is the female co-host of that. Yes. And she, like myself, uses Ecamm Live, and we're beta testers in the beta group, but I've learned a lot from them. And especially for those of you who are like using DSLR cameras, I use a webcam. I'm happy with it, but they use DSLR cameras like the Sony's A6100, A6600, all that good stuff. Follow them because they have all the how-tos, and they have these amazing live streams. So this is a good example that takes back to the other question where you asked about live streaming versus uploaded videos and the power of it on YouTube. They do both, just like myself.
Right.
We do both. And so, not saying that you can't have a great channel with just live streaming, but the live streaming pros, they have their own strategies and all that. And they do multi-streaming with YouTube and Facebook. Right. But they're definitely worthwhile checking out their live streams, or even going over to their channel and finding the pre-recorded videos. Just search for your topic. If there's something that you want to learn about. And, you know, he controls, David Foster controls his lighting and all that stuff with when people give the super chats, and he uses the IFTTT to do that and all that good stuff. And like I said, he uses the PC. I've never really maxed out my PC setup. All my stuff is really on Mac. I'm just using, actually, this is my work PC. Shh.
Oh, I hear you.
But I wanted to make sure that I was in a room where I wouldn't be disturbed, because, you know, it is a holiday. It's still a holiday.
I use what he's did with his production to create a system here where I'm at right now, where I could just at any moment pre-produce content or go live. And then another thing that I got to invest in, and everybody out there invest in this, is the Stream Deck, right? Let me put this picture of you again before you have to unfortunately.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to get ready to go.
Stream Deck. Yes. So get Stream Deck, everybody. That's a good system as well. And with everything being said, I want to say thank you for being here.
You're welcome. And thank you so much. Your community. And you know what? I love the fact that you are a community-based person. And I can tell that by the folks that come out into the chat for you. They support you. You support them. And that's the way that we really build connections online. And you guys are doing such a fantastic job. And you, of course, you're doing a fantastic job. And I absolutely love this. So I definitely will be back, because I'm loving this community vibe you got going on over here.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. I appreciate you being here. Of course, I got to give you a clap. Wonderful, wonderful. So until we do this again, I'll be in contact with you, because I definitely got to get your daughter on the program as well. If not both of you at the same time, would be great. But we'll be talking. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys around. Thanks so much.
All right. Okay, everybody. There she is, the incredible Ileane Smith. You guys had a chance to hear her. Look, she's fantastic, everybody. You can learn a lot from her channel. I put links in the chat room with her channel, but simple as be, just go to the description page of this video, scroll down, and I have links for everything that she's on that we talked about today. So I appreciate everybody who came out. I know it was kind of early for folks, but thank you for coming on over. Everybody, back to the basics. Real Aaron Collins. Let me say peace to this sister who was rocking in the chat room, because I appreciate her being here. Peace to you. Oops. Here we go. Peace to you. All right. So everybody have a good rest of your day. American Negro, man, you were on fire with supporting the channel today, putting out the links for me and everything like that. I appreciate that. Everybody, Marquise 83, thank you for coming over. Everybody that's came over today, I appreciate your support. We're going to do it again. Now, this is the thing, everybody. I was planning on going live at 5 o'clock Western time, which would be 8 o'clock Eastern time, and 7 o'clock Central time, because I want to get into the issue around Barack Obama. You all seeing the interview with him with the Breakfast Club. I have a critique. I'm going to put a final crescendo on what did Obama actually do for Black people in this country, even though he talks of democracy. He said a lot of things in that interview with the Breakfast Club in terms of what he did for the Black community as it relates to unemployment or housing and poverty. And he said some things, and I'm telling you right now, it was not true. I've got the numbers. I got the data. I'm going to show you why it was not true. I know Jason Black has done a thing on this and other people. So I was thinking about doing that at 5 today. I might just do it Friday evening, or if I change my mind, I might go tonight. I usually like to, when I do videos, I like to just let one video get the views that it's going to get, let it settle through, and then go to the next video another day. So I may just go with that show, that program tomorrow, because that is going to be a polarizing program. it's going to be one that will open up one's mind, one's eyes. Because he said some things on the Breakfast Club that I take issue with that was just not completely true. And I want to critique and analyze that. So everybody, I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate that. I just want to let you guys know that. And I hope you learned something from the stream today, some of the advice that she gave, some of the information that we provided you today. I thank you. And most definitely share this video, hit the likes button, share this video on all your social media. I think it's very important for people. This wasn't a polarizing stream. This was a very professional, get to the point stream that can help you improve what you're doing on social media. The video that I do about Obama, either tonight, later on tonight, or Saturday evening, will be a more polarizing. I suspect I'll have more people that will be coming over here for that, because they'll definitely want to possibly hear what I have to say, what I have to provide you. And when I did my research on things, folks, it did not look good at all. I got to be honest. I must tell the truth. So today was a great show where we talked about social media, how fun social media can be. As you can see, the brother there with his phone, laughing, giggling, and enjoying himself on his phone. This was about social media today, folks. This was about the things that we do on our phone. Most people consume most of their YouTube on phones, like this brother right here. We consume our Instagram, most of our Facebook, and various things on our phone, and it's accessible to us. It makes us, we enjoy it. However, we do know that social media can be addictive. It can have some impact on your life. So at some point in time, you have to learn when to put your phone down. Can you go a day without using your social media? Can you go a week? Check out that movie Social Dilemma on Netflix. It was an eye-opener for me. I might do a presentation about that on my podcast, but we just have to understand that we can use this social media in a positive way, but we don't want it to control us, and we don't want it to manipulate our common sense, even though we know common sense is not always common. So with that said, let me get out of here. And for those of you who need a mask because of all this COVID, let me not say it, this virus that's going around, that's having an effect, why don't you, before you leave my channel, watch this commercial, because this is a Black-owned business where you can buy something like a mask if you need it.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all wearing your mask everywhere you go, and more specifically that KN95, protecting against all the germs that are in the air. But also I want to tell y'all one more thing to stay safe. Hand sanitizer, but with aloe vera. So you put some of this on, you rub it around. Not only do you knock all the germs, but the aloe vera smells so amazing that you're killing two birds with one stone without drying out your skin, because traditional hand sanitizer leaves your hands feeling clammy and disgusting. So definitely get hand sanitizer with aloe vera. So one more thing I want to tell you about, though. This code right here, cut the check. So let's say you bought a couple of masks and you bought a couple hand sanitizers and your order exceeds $50. We waive the shipping fee with the code cut the check. So on your checkout, remember to put that in.
All right, everybody. Remember, if you have a need for that, that's a Black-owned business that's selling these various items. So let's get on out of here. Take care. And I'll be back on these YouTube streets again, live in effect. Peace. I'll see how I feel tonight, if I'm going to go live with the Obama broadcast or if I will wait for tomorrow. Peace to you.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in my feelings. Feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets harder.
Thank you for the super
Sometimes
chat.
everything just gets harder. Feels like a distance apart. It just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm at extreme at midnight. So hard to please.
Let me say peace to Brittany Dunn. I didn't call you out, sister. Thank you for being here. And Natural and Panda and American Negro and Back to the Basics and Penny Wise came through. Peace to you. What's going on, Penny Wise?
Sometimes everything just
And
gets
Cinda.
harder. Feeling like a resistance apart. They just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the low, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff
Ron
we
11.
play.
What's
How
going
I'd
on,
rather
11?
do that
Thank you, Information
instead.
Man Show and Ileane Smith. Great show. Thank
Keep
you, sister.
screaming out
I
loud
like that avatar,
from the
too.
top of my lungs, baby. Ooh, think about the stuff we play. How I'd rather do that instead. I keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
Information
Ooh,
is
think
power.
about the
Listening
stuff
to
we
Information
play.
Man.
How
Please
I'd
make
rather
sure to
do
subscribe
that
to his channel.
instead. Keep screaming out loud from the top of my lungs, baby.
Let's turn up. Make sure if you all have channels, if you're a content creator, write each other's names down so that you can support each other's channels. I meant to say that earlier. Now we got a class life in the house. Peace to you, sister. I see you. Peace to you. And we got Positive Push. What's going on? Positive Pusher. Hello, host and chat. New here. Found you through NQ's World. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate that. Great info. Have a great day. You have a great too, Marquise 83. And we got a Class Light. Make sure y'all check her channel out too. A Class Light. And make sure y'all check out Panda's Hair. She's got a great channel. Make sure y'all check out Back to the Basics channel. Thank you.
Information you are listening to power. Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Appreciate y'all being here.
Tell the truth.
is power.
Issues, I know I got issues. Hate you, then I miss you again. Selfish, I can be so selfish. Spend more time with meeting your friends. Please forgive my attitude. I want my cake and eat it too. But a little grace would be enough for me to prove. Baby, you're the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see. Bringing out the best in me, yeah. I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it. Working out my issues with you.